You know, some stories, they just manage to pack an entire universe of meaning into just a few pages, right? It's incredible. And today, we're going to break down an absolute masterclass in how to do that. Chapter 4 of the legendary manga One Piece. All right, so let's jump right in. The whole thing kicks off with this one single explosive moment, a punch. Our main guy, Monkey D. Luffy, has just laid someone out. But here's the thing. It's not the punch itself that's the big deal. It's how everyone reacts to it. That's what tells you everything. Because, see, this wasn't just some random brawl. That one punch, it was a massive act of defiance. A real statement in a town that's just completely choked by fear. I mean, just look at their faces. That is pure, unadulterated terror. And they're not scared for the guy who got hit. No way. They're terrified of what his father's gonna do about it. And boom, in just one panel, you get it. You understand the entire power dynamic of this place. So, welcome to Shellstown. This place is completely under the thumb of one single guy. A man with so much power that just being his son means you can do whatever you want. And punching that son, well, that's pretty much a death sentence. So, you gotta be asking, who is this guy running the show? Who's the man behind all this fear? Well, let's meet him. The source of all this terror, Naval Captain Axe Hand Morgan.
And the artwork just tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? You've got that crazy steel jaw, his massive size. Oh, and yeah, the giant axe for a hand. Can't miss that. He is the literal physical embodiment of his own twisted ego.
And this line from him, it just perfectly sums up his entire worldview. It's not about doing what's right or protecting people. For Morgan, his power, his rank, doesn't just give him authority. It makes him incapable of being wrong. If he does it, it's right. End of story.
And don't think for a second this is some tough but fair leader. His tyranny is all for him. He'll cut down his own men for questioning him, for refusing to kill a kid. And his own son, he tells him he's so pathetic he's not even worth hitting. This cruelty, it's deeply personal, it is absolute, and nobody is safe from it. So that is the system we're dealing with. This corrupt belief that might makes right. And that is the very idea that Luffy has just walked in and punched directly in the face.
Okay, so Luffy's big act of defiance doesn't just go unnoticed. It gets the attention of another major player on the board, someone who stands for a totally different kind of strength, the captured bounty hunter, Roronoa Zoro.
And right here, you've got this amazing setup. Two incredibly powerful guys with completely different ways of looking at the world, and they are on a collision course. You have Luffy chasing this huge, almost crazy dream. And then there's Zoro, who's all about personal ambition, his own code, his own strength and honor. And Zoro's statement here, it's the polar opposite of Morgan. Think about it. Morgan's power comes from the outside, from his rank, his title. Zoro's power, that comes from the inside. It's from his personal code, his own set of rules.
And then, of course, you've got Luffy. He's just pure instinct and willpower. He sees this strength, this conviction in Zoro, and his brain goes, "Yep, you're joining my crew." That's it. It's not a request. It's a decision. Done.
So what happens, right? What happens when Luffy's unstoppable will crashes into Zoro's immovable personal code? That's the real tension for the rest of this chapter. It's not just about beating the bad guy, it's about seeing if these two can possibly find a way to work together.
In this whole clash, it doesn't just end in a simple brawl. Oh no, it builds to something way smarter, way more symbolic. An attack that hits Morgan right where it hurts the most, his ego.
So get this. Morgan is forcing his men to build and raise a giant statue of himself. He's not just ruling the town, he's literally trying to put himself in stone above everybody else. I mean, you can't get more arrogant than that.
And this is the brilliant part. Luffy gets up there, and what does he target? Not Morgan, not the man. He targets what the man represents. He goes straight for that statue, the symbol of all his oppressive power.
And then, Krakoom! With one awesome attack, the literal, physical monument to Morgan's power, his ego, his entire tyrannical rule, it just gets shattered into a million pieces for the whole town to see. It's just perfect.
And this is so much more than just breaking a statue. This is the point of no return. Honestly, it's more powerful than if he just punched Morgan again. Because this sends a message to every single person watching. This guy is not a god. His power isn't absolute. It can be broken.
And all of this brings us to the core theme that this chapter sets up so beautifully. A theme that's going to resonate through the entire story of One Piece.
And the question it forces you to ask is, what is justice really? Is it just about wearing a uniform and following orders? Is it a title? Or is it about an individual's choice, the action you take to do what's right, no matter what the rules say? And you see the two paths play out right here. On one side, you have Morgan, the guy who's supposed to be justice, and he's exposed as nothing more than a screaming tyrant. And on the other side, you have this timid kid, Kobe, who watches this so-called criminal pirate and gets inspired to find his own courage. He decides he wants to be a real Marine.
So what we see is that Luffy's crime actually inspires courage. Morgan's order just reveals his tyranny. And Kobe's decision, it shows us that being a hero isn't about the title you hold, it's a choice you make. It's about having the will to stand up to what's wrong.
And that's the genius of it. In just 19 pages, this chapter completely flips our expectations on their head. It leaves you with a big question. Who's the real villain here? The pirate who's breaking all the rules, or the Marine captain who's making them? It challenges you to look past the labels, and it's the perfect launchpad for the grand adventure that's about to begin.